This is our COVID Roundup and CDC update for August 2nd, 2024. This now makes it the third week where the CDC has not added the percentages in the quick view dashboard. The first thing of note is that when we look at the COVID virus wastewater levels by facility, we're seeing deep red facilities all across the country, which means that many of those facilities are within 80% to 100% of the highest levels they've recorded. So for reference, 0% means levels are lowest they've been at the site, and 100% means they're the highest they've been at the site, which means that right now in our summer wave, many places all throughout the country are at or near the highest levels of the pandemic. Next, moving on to the CDC's COVID genetic surveillance, we can see that KP 3.1.1 has taken the lead, dethroning KP 3. Blowing this up, our top four variants are KP 3.1.1 at about 28%, KP 3 at about 20%, LB1 at about 16%, and KP 2.3 at about 14% of variance in proportion. Now, let's look at the relative growth. Since our last reporting period, KP 3 dropped from 33% down to about 20%, making a 13 percentage point drop. KP 3.1.1 increased from about 18% to about 28%, making about an 18 percentage point increase. KP 2.3 increased from about 13% to about 14%, but of note LB1 outcompeted it, where it rose from about 11% to about 16%, meaning that it looks like KP 3 is starting to ebb its way out, but that LB1 and KP 3.1.1 still seem to confer some sort of growth advantage. Similarly, when we look to Canada, KP 3.1.1 is making up about 36% of variance in proportion there, which gives us the inclination that KP 3.1.1 is going to continue growing for the time being, and this seems to be supported by Mike Honey's analysis. So as a reminder, KP 3 is a part of the Sluke or Fluke family, making KP 3.1.1 a D-Fluke or a D-Sluke variant, where a variant like KP 2 is a flirt variant, while a variant like LB1 or KP 2.3 are D-flirt variants, where according to Mike Honey's analysis, KP 3.1.1 globally is making up about 30% in proportion to all variants, where it seems to be on an upwards trajectory all across the board. And because it's even more immune-evasive and even more contagious than prior variants, as we showed earlier in a previous roundup, well, that means that our COVID levels in the wastewater are likely to keep increasing. Moving on to our COVID levels in the New York State wastewater. As a reminder, anything that is dark blue is low levels of COVID in the wastewater, anything that is light blue is moderate levels, and anything from yellow to bright red is high levels of COVID in the wastewater. Last week, about 74% of all reporting wastewater facilities were reporting at the highest levels, and this week it has increased once more to about 76% of all reporting wastewater facilities. Moving on to wastewater scan and the 28 reporting wastewater facilities in California. Of note, we're still seeing an increasing upward trend of both the lowest data continuing upward as well as the highest data, showing us that levels are still increasing steadily, where southeast San Francisco, California has reached all-time highs, where these have been reached and maintained since at least June 27th. Next, when we look at the 148 reporting wastewater facilities across the US to wastewater scan, we can see that everything is still increasing, and then one facility is actually exploding off the charts, which can be more easily seen here, again reaching their highest levels ever recorded, where that facility is Little River, Roswell, Georgia.